Samantha couldn't breathe. The words echoed inside her skull, each syllable rearranging the architecture of her identity. This is where you were created, not born created. The stranger began descending the slope toward the exposed structure, moving with purpose, but also with a heaviness, as if every step pulled her deeper into memories she wished she could forget. Samantha followed, legs trembling. The valley floor was littered with wreckage, skeletal remains of transport pods, shattered containment glass, twisted metal frameworks half swallowed by soil. The air vibrated faintly with static, and a metallic temps coated Samantha's tongue as they approached the facility's entrance. A long, horizontal aperture yawned open beneath a broken support arch, the dark interior pulsing with faint cyan lights. A hum emanated from within, deep, resonant, almost alive. Samantha hesitated at the threshold. The stranger stepped beside her. "It won't harm you," she said softly. "This place recognizes you." "How?" "I've never been here." The stranger's eyes dimmed with sorrow. "Yes," she whispered, "you have." Inside the ruin, the corridor swallowed them whole. Cold air greeted them, sterile, preserved by automated systems still running decades past their shut-off date. Panels embedded in the walls flickered weakly, illuminating faded warning bands and fragments of scientific symbols Samantha vaguely recognized from academy textbooks. The floor was smooth metal, marred by long, scorched trails as though something had been dragged violently through these halls. The silence was almost too complete, pressing against Samantha's eardrums. "This facility was sealed 20 years ago," the stranger said as they walked deeper. "I was still inside when it happened." Samantha looked at her sharply. "You were here? As a child?" "Yes." A quiet pause. "I wasn't meant to survive." Samantha's breath caught. "Then why are you alive?" The stranger's steps faltered for a fraction of a moment. "Because of you." The corridor opened into a circular chamber, its domed ceiling etched with swirling patterns, like genetic spirals reimagined as art. In the center sat a massive cylindrical console. Dust coated everything except the console's edges where fingerprints, old and smeared, broke the surface. A dormant holographic projector protruded. From the upper rim, Samantha reached toward it instinctively. "Don't touch," the stranger warned, but it was too late. Her fingertips brushed the cold metal, and the facility awakened. The first hologram low vibration trembled through the floor. Panels lit up in a cascading wave. The hologram projector flickered, convulsed, then bloomed into light. A human figure formed. A woman in a lab coat, eyes tired but hopeful, hair unkempt from long hours, a badge reading, "Dr. Alara Voss, Genesis Division." Samantha gasped. The woman turned as if looking directly at her. "Though the hologram was pre-recorded, if you're seeing this," Dr. Voss said in a voice trembling with urgency, "then our attempt failed, or succeeded in ways we didn't anticipate." The stranger stiffened. Samantha's pulse thudded in her throat. "Project Genesis was never meant to be a weapon," Dr. Voss continued. "It was meant to save what remained of humanity, not by preserving us, but by evolving us." Images appeared around the hologram, swirling DNA helices, hybrid cell structures, alien molecular chains. Samantha's stomach twisted. "We discovered an extraterrestrial genome unlike anything in the known universe," Dr. Voss said. "Adaptive, regenerative, capable of interfacing with consciousness itself. We believed merging it with human DNA could restore the species, give us resilience against planetary collapse." The hologram glitched, static tearing across the image. The stranger's hands tightened at her sides. "We created 2 prototypes." Samantha froze. "2. Subject. A designation Astra." The stranger inhaled. Sharply, Samantha turned toward her. "Astra. Her name." The hologram continued. "Subject B. Designation." "Samantha." The world fell silent. Samantha's legs weakened. She stumbled back, hitting the console. No, she whispered. That's not possible. I grew up in a normal household. I have parents. I have memories. Astra stepped toward her. They were implanted, she said quietly. To protect you? To hide you? Never to harm you. Samantha shook her head violently. No, no. Inside her chest, something hollowed out in absence she'd never noticed before. A missing thread in the tapestry of her identity now pulled into stark visibility. Dr. Voss's hologram flickered violently. If either prototype survives past adolescence, she said, their genetic resonance will activate. Their minds will begin to sync. And the world may not be ready for what that connection unlocks. Astra whispered under her breath. They weren't. The hologram crackled. If the children ever find each other, the projection froze. Samantha felt Astra's gaze on her. Now you understand, Astra murmured. We were never meant to meet. But why? Samantha's voice broke. Why would finding each other be dangerous? Why was I hidden? Why did you come for me? Astra closed her eyes. Because you activated. Activated what? Astra hesitated, a conflict warring behind her expression. Your resonance signal, she said finally. The world felt it. The Directorate felt it, and they will do anything to prevent what comes next. Samantha's breath trembled. What comes next? Astra opened her eyes, and for the first time Samantha saw fear in them. Awakening, Astra whispered. Yours, mine, humanity's, or its end. Deeper into the facility, they moved to the next chamber, a narrow hallway lined with glass containment. Rooms, each one empty, each one shattered. From the inside, some rooms contained remnants of what once was. Overturned examination tables, cracked nutrient tanks, restraints snapped open. Frost still clung to one chamber's walls. Samantha moved slowly, heart aching with dread. Was I in one of these? She whispered. Astra nodded, expression unreadable. You were in the very last pod, she said softly. You were barely a week old when the facility fell under lockdown. Lockdown from what? Astra didn't answer. Samantha turned to her sharply. Astra, what happened here? Astra's jaw tightened. Her eyes shimmered with a memory too painful to revisit. This place, she said quietly, became a battlefield. Samantha swallowed. Between humans. And what? Astra's voice lowered to a trembling whisper. Between humans and us. She stepped into a large atrium at the end of the hall, an open space filled with scorched walls and collapsed walkways. The ceiling had caved in partially, illuminating the devastation with sickly daylight. Samantha froze. In the center of the floor lay a dark stain, circular, huge, burned deep into the metal. It looked like an explosion's aftermath, but the pattern was too precise, too symmetrical, almost biological. What is that? Samantha asked. Astra stared at the mark. That, she whispered, is where they tried to destroy me. Samantha inhaled sharply, and where they almost succeeded. Her voice was hollow, ancient with pain. I escaped. You didn't. The scientists smuggled you out before the Directorate could. Terminate the project. Samantha trembled. Terminate us. Astra nodded. They feared what we represented. What do we represent? Samantha demanded. What am I? What are you? Astra looked at her, truly looked at her with a depth that made Samantha's heart contract. You, Astra said softly, are the perfect synthesis. The stable version. The balance they hoped for. And you. Samantha whispered. Astra exhaled. I am the unstable one. The anomaly. The error they feared. Silence filled the ruined hall. Samantha's eyes softened. She took one step toward. Astra, you're not an error. Astra tensed, as if the words physically struck her, but before she could respond, the ground vibrated violently. The facility lights flickered. A shrill alarm blared. Metal groaned as dust rained from the ceiling. Samantha spun toward the corridor. What's happening? Astra's expression went dark. They found us. Who? Astra's voice became cold, urgent, resolved. Humans. She seized Samantha's hand, gripping tightly. We have to reach the core before they do.